There's been a push on the internet in interviews for Justice Breyer to preemptively retire from the SCOTUS. People are burned by what happened with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. They're worried about what might happen if he waits too long to leave. So people have been asked about this. Bernie Sanders was asked about this, and here's what he had to say.
Do you think this pressure campaign is appropriate? And would you like to see him retire now?
No, I will let the judge make his own decision. I'm not going to tell him what to do.
And that was it, actually. Like, he was just, not only is he not interested in pressuring him, he wasn't really interested, David, in talking about the topic. Bear in mind, we've had Representative Mondaire Jones was saying it's time. AOC was asked about it. She wasn't just like spontaneously giving a speech about it, but she was asked about it, and she said, I would encourage him to. She said I would lean in that direction. Bernie was just not having it. What are your thoughts about this? Should they be pressuring him? Does it have any chance of succeeding?
I don't think it has any chance of succeeding, and here's why. Maybe Bernie Sanders, because of his age, is able to sort of relate a little bit more to people saying you should hang it up. I mean, Justice Breyer is 82, he's gonna be 83 in August. In terms of the calendar, in terms of when he really could pose a danger with, say, let's suppose Republicans take control of the Senate. And even though Joe Biden is president and Mitch McConnell says, all right, Republicans take control of the Senate, and there's no chance we're gonna confirm a replacement for somebody like Breyer. Well, under that calendar, you still have until literally the end of 2022. So my suggestion, and certainly the Supreme Court term where Justice Breyer has already okayed a couple of big cases in the next term, a big case on abortion, a big case on gun control. Yeah, I could envision a scenario, and I've heard some chatter in legal circles in Washington, D.C., where Justice Breyer has signaled, look, I want one more term in the spring of 2022. 5 or 6 months before the election, yes, I will then resign. 5 or 6 months is plenty of time to propose a new justice, get a justice confirmed, and on the bench before the 2022 election. So yes, I do hope that Justice Breyer gets off the court in time for his replacement to be named before the end of 2022, but I think he's got a little bit more time. And I think backing off, he knows what the stakes are. He knows what happened with Justice Ginsburg being replaced, in the way that she was replaced by Amy Coney Barrett. He gets it, and I know all the chatter, he hears it. But I do think Bernie's got a point about, let's give him a little breathing space. Let's give everybody a little bit of time to figure this out. And let's count on Justice Breyer doing the right thing a year from now, as opposed to having to do it right now.
Yeah, you might be onto something. I think 5 to 6 months probably is enough time, assuming the Democrats maintain control. Obviously, if anything happens, if some senator gets sick and has to resign, is replaced by a Republican.
Well, that is a great point, John, because that's the catch here, right? Let's suppose Justice Breyer is just gonna assume that Democrats maintain control till the end of 2022 or till the 2022 midterms. But what happens if a senator gets sick and has to leave? And then you have to look at, well, what are the replacement rules? Is there a possibility that a Democratic senator leaves the Senate and gets replaced by a Republican or a special election? Yes, and that is a big danger in this. I don't think it's the ultimate danger, but that is something to consider.
Yeah.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.